Family, what's going on? It's Willie Mo Jr. here. So glad to be with everybody today. Shout out to my big brother, Steve Harvey, man. So excited to be able to share with so many amazing young men. Just as I scroll here, I'm on my phone. What's going on, fellas? Give me some love. Give me a piece. Tell me a deuce or something. What's going on?
What's up?
Man, listen, bro. I've been so excited. I just got off the road, and I'm actually here in St. Louis, Missouri, at my mama's house. As you can see, these curtains are not modern. Okay,
right.
Hey, listen, them curtains was there when I was your age. But yeah, man. So listen, I wanted to have a quick, just real brief conversation. Just real quick, I just want to hear just from a few people. Like, how's the summer been going so far? How's the summer been going so far? Give me one person at a time.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
My name is Gavin. You may remember me. I'm the person who was at the mentor camp, and I said, "Hey, can I be your intern for the Willie Moore Jr. station?" Yeah. So really, I just been trying to kick off my own business. I recently opened up a vending machine company. It's not doing so good, so I want to venture off. I'm still filmmaking. I'm doing a lot of filmmaking stuff, but another thing that I'm starting to do on the side is my new podcast coming up. And I would just, huh?
I said Gavin into everything. Let's get it.
Yeah. So it's coming up, and I just want to bring out the word of what's going on in our community and the, just things that happens that people may not understand. Because of, it may be race, it may be that they're just not taught it. And I want to bring it out on my podcast. And I was just wondering, what is your intent when you're on the radio and you're talking to people to try to get in their hearts and their minds? What is your intent, and what do they take out of it?
Indeed. Listen, I'm going to take a quick note real quick. So what's in my heart and mind? So I'm going to get to that towards the end. What's in my heart, in mind, and what do I expect them to take away from it? Okay, got it. Give me another one. Get somebody else. How's the summer been going? I just want to gain camaraderie with everybody. How y'all doing this summer? Give me one more person. Kid J, what's up, bro?
What's up? No, my summer been chill. I'm an artist, so I'm a rapper, so I just been making music, keeping myself going. Behind what's been happening in the world and stuff. And yeah, I got a lot of things coming up. My birthday in September, so I'm pretty happy about that. And you keep asking us how we doing. You all right?
Man, you know what, Kid J? I ain't never been better, bro. 100. I got a 17-year-old son now. I've been going back and forth with these different colleges about him as he goes into his senior year, right? He going into a senior year, class of 2021. And then my 11-year-old, he's in the arts. I'm looking to take him out to Los Angeles to work with Nickelodeon after the COVID-19 stuff is over. I got a 5-year-old who's probably going to be the manager of all of our companies because he's such a boss. And now I have a new baby girl since the last time I've had the opportunity to hang out with y'all, man. So life has been good for me. Yeah. Y'all gonna have to teach me. Y'all gonna have to teach me how to work with these girls. It's making me soft. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like super soft now. I talk with my breath. How you doing, baby? My wife is looking at me like, "Hey, Will, you soft now?" I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm trying to do my best."
No, man, look, man, females are like, oh man, they so sensitive because I still get into it with my sister, and she my little sister. I'm like, you my little sister. Yo, listen to me, like, oh man.
Right. So I'm learning how to be gentle because I've had all these boys. And, I talk to my boys, come on, boy, let's do this. But when it comes to the young lady, I have to be so sensitive. But, guys, I've been challenged today to speak to the king in you. Last year I had the esteemed privilege of speaking to you, and I talked a little bit about what I told your mom. I told you guys last year that I told your mom that it was a king and there was a fool on the inside of your child. And if you keep speaking to the fool, that's what you're going to get. But if you speak to the king is going to come out, right? And so I just believe by faith that whether it was mother, whether it was father, whether it was a coach, whether it was a teacher, somebody's been speaking to the king in you, right? And, the one thing that I know about my favorite book, it says that the power of life and death is in your tongue, right? So whether somebody's speaking it or they're not speaking it, it's important that you speak it to yourself. So today I just brought a real quick picture of this little young guy that you may or may not can see. I'm gonna try to show you this guy when he had hair. This was Willie, first year of college at the University of Mississippi, right? So when I was 12 years old, I was at a church service, and I did not want to be at this lame church service. In fact, I wanted to be over Valerie Clark's house. That was my girlfriend at the time. But my mama drugged me to church, and I was like, Mama, she was like, no, you need to go. It's this prophet such and such, and he going to be there. I was like, a prophet? I'm trying to make profit, Mama. I don't want to hear from a prophet, okay? Let's just be, I told my Mom, I don't want to hear from no type of prophet. I'm literally trying to go make a little profit so I can take my girlfriend out. But I walked in, and this young man, he was actually a younger guy. He was in his 20s at the time, probably closer to his 30s, and he pointed me out. And he was like, you, young man. I was like, hey, Lord, please don't let him embarrass me in front of all these people. And he talked about what I would be doing today. He said, you're going to have the gift of influence over young people. He said, you're going to be on television. He said, your name will reign all across the world, and you will be one of the kings that people remember. Now, remind you, I'm just a young dude trying to get to my girlfriend's house. So everybody started screaming. They started hollering. I was just as confused as a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. I'm just going to be honest with you. I didn't know what was going on. But I realized what he spoke over my life at a young age, it would take some time for it to incubate and to come to fruition. And so many of you all, you know that many people have spoken things over your life, right? They spoke stuff over your life. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. The one thing that I want to share with you as a king, right, as a king, because I'm speaking to the king in you now, is that I don't want you to rush into your kingdomhood, right? I want you to understand a king is who you become. A king is a person who develops in the place where they are and they bloom where they're planted. I see so many young people, especially when I was young, like trying to live up to somebody else's standard, right? Literally trying to live up to somebody else's standard, and then that pressure becomes too much, right? When that young man spoke that over my life, I didn't try to become who he said he was because I didn't have to become it. It was already on the inside of me, right? And so what I'm telling you today at this young age, what I'm speaking over your life right now is that you are a king, but you're going to have to develop what you're becoming. But you don't have to try to become it because it's on the inside of you. Listen, everything that you want and everything that you have is already on the inside of you, but you got to understand that it's just in seed form. Right? So if I give you a seed and I say this is going to be a tree, unfortunately that seed doesn't look like the tree. But if I plant that seed in the ground and I keep nurturing and watering that tree, we look up 10, 15, 20 years later, guess what happened? We're going to see a tree sprout up. So what I'm telling you, I am planting the seed. I declare over your life right now, right? I declare over your life that you are a king, that you are the head and not the tail, that you are above and not beneath, that God is for you and not against you, that you are made to win, that you're literally going to develop an attitude of grace, and you're going to have this power on the inside of you that begins to develop. So we don't care what people say on Instagram. We don't care what people say on Facebook. We don't care what people say on Snapchat. I remember being in this neighborhood. I'm still in the hood right now because my mama won't move, right? I got enough money to take my mama anywhere she wants to go, but my mama wants to be planted right here. So what I was able to do is I was able to buy every house around her. Praise God. And I'm not doing this to impress you, but to impress a point upon you. But I'm right where I was when I was your age. And everybody in these streets over here that was selling dope, right? When I was 17 years old, the goal, literally the goal in my neighborhood was who gonna go from an ounce to who gonna go from a quarter ounce to an ounce to who gonna move from that 8, who gonna get that 36 ounces. This was the conversation right outside of these doors. But I remember what that man said about me. That man told me that I was a king. That man said in front of all those people that my name would reign all across this country. If you don't remember anything else out of this mentor virtual connection that we're having, is that a young dude from St. Louis, Missouri, where the median income in this neighborhood was $17,000. $17,000. Growing up around killers, dealers, and everything that people around you are doing. Like nothing new is under the sun. But I made a cognizant decision to do one thing. I believe. And then listen, watch this. I had a mother. Let me see if I got a picture of mama in here. Or I might have her come in here real quick. But I had a mom who worked so hard. So my mom right now, don't tell her I told her this because it's a lot of people on here, but my mom is 70-some years old. I think she's 78 years old. My mom adopted me when I was 3 months old. I've never met anybody in my biological family. But when I looked at the sacrifice that my mama had made, right, I realized that I couldn't be like the rest of these kids that were in this neighborhood attempting to be like everybody else. Hey, Kid J, 100, I was a musician too. I signed a $1.2 million record deal as this kid named Pretty Willie, fresh out of the University of Mississippi. But even then, when everybody else was acting up, I would not forget what that man said about me. He said that I was a king and my name would reign all across the world. So with a king, you got to understand that your reputation has to be intact. And I realized that my mama put her reputation on the line by adopting a young kid. And so I had to make sure that I kept my reputation good. Many of you right now, even though you're a king, when you go back to school for class of 2020, 2021, there's a teacher right now that's going to point you out because you've been typecast as bad, the tough kid, the kid who don't want to listen. If that's you, you ain't got to put your hand up or nothing, but you can just kind of do your eyebrows like this right here, right? But let me tell you something. You can go back into this school year, although it's going to be unique, you can go back in this school year knowing that you are a king and not accept the report of what that teacher and administrator used to say about you, right? So you can tweet, Instagram, this is going to make you look cool on Facebook and Instagram, but put this on Instagram, Facebook, and even slide it on your Snapchat. Just do it real quick. Like, just boom, boom. Put this on here. Say, tell them this. Repetition changes your reputation. Your repetition is going to change your reputation. Meaning you can do the right thing, but you got to do the right thing long enough so people can feel and see the change. So for me being a kid in the neighborhood, I grew up on the same street where the Bloods are. So when I walked outside, the Crips thought I was a Blood because I was on the same street. But after I became a track runner, an A student, and got a full ride scholarship to the University of Mississippi, even the Crips on the street was like, no, he ain't like them, bro. He different. He on something else. What am I telling you? Repetition changed the reputation of my whole street. Now, the same guys who are on my street, they're in my mentoring class, and I'm doing my best to pour into their children because I was able to make a cognitive decision to say, you know what? I'm not going to be like everybody else. I believe that there are future millionaires right here in here. Kid J, I got you, bro. I believe there's future millionaires right now in this mentoring thing. I believe there's radio hosts, there's entrepreneurs, there are people right now who are literally going to change the legacy and lineage of their family. But you got to make a decision today to either yield to the king that's on the inside of you or be impressed by the different people who faking on radio and television pretending that they gangsters, but they totally not. I understand that pedigree. I get in here and I sit with so many people across this country and I realize that the images that they're putting out of African-American males is to make you believe that the only thing we can be are gangsters. But that's not the case. You can come from a bad spot, but you don't have to stay in a bad spot. What I understand is that a rose can come from the concrete. And I realize that I'm that rose. And I realize that you're that rose because there's a young man in my favorite book. He goes by the name of David. It was this guy by the name of Samuel who was coming to visit David because Samuel was pushed with the task of going to crown another king. When he walked into the house to find out who the next king was going to be, he seen all these amazing looking brothers and he was like, surely this one is king, this one is king. But then it was a young guy by the name of David on the outside. Like he's literally outside on the field. He didn't even get invited on the inside. He was getting it out the mud. But when Samuel saw David, the kid who was getting it out of the mud, he said, listen, I crown you as king. Why did he crown the guy who was getting it out the mud? Why did he get the guy who didn't get the luxuries that everybody else did? The reason why he did that is because if you can go through something early in your life, you can become the king a lot quicker, right? And although he was crowned at a very young age, he didn't get to the bag until he was 30 years old, right? So what am I telling you? It's going to take a lot longer than you think, right? It may take a lot longer than you think, and it's going to cost you a lot more than what you think. But the king that's on the inside of you will come to life. And no matter how long it takes, this moment, June 20th, 2020, I never want you to forget that a young guy who's been through the same thing that many of you have been through. I've been typecast. I've been looked over. I done came to this refrigerator right to the left. It's a different refrigerator now because we kind of remodeled. But I've come to that refrigerator on numerous occasions and looked around and thought to myself, wow, I wish there was some shrimp and steak in there. Real talk, and it wasn't in there. But I vowed to myself that everything that I do not have, I'm going to make sure that my mother and my father and everybody in this Moore legacy will experience some of the spoils of the world. Let me tell you why. Because that young man told me who I was at a young age. And if he said it, I can see it. And to that last person, Kid J, I'm coming right to you. To that last person who kind of say, man, you know what? I hear all these inspiring speeches, but man, I don't even believe that for me because, Will, you don't understand what I'm going through. Let me tell you something. You are absolutely right. I have no idea what you're going through. But it's up to you to believe what I see in you until you can believe it for yourself. There's a king on the inside of you. There's a king on the inside of you. There's a king on the inside of you that will not be hurt by a police officer. There's a king on the inside of you that will not be influenced by these rappers who foolishly make you believe that you got to sell dope and act a fool to make money. It's people. I done made more money out of real estate than I made in entertainment, right? And all it took was just opening myself up and being exposed to different things, being honest, okay? I'm speaking to that king right now who dad may be locked away. I want to let you know without giving it to you, he still gave it to you. Don't just take the report of the bad things that he did. There was a time in his life when he was attempting to do the right thing. That's the part you hold on to. I'm talking to that young man right now who literally only has his mama. And every time you talk to your mama, you think to yourself, mama, can you please be quiet because you talk too long? But I want you to understand this. Mama's just doing her best because that man is not right there on their side, right? But I want you to listen to mama. Because the one thing I had to do is I had to listen to my mama. She didn't understand what I was going through, but I understood her heart. My prayer right now is that you don't hear what your mama say. Like, I don't want you to hear her voice, but I want you to hear her heart. Your mama working her ass off right now to make sure she keep them lights on. My mama worked her ass off to keep them lights on. And that's why she never got to worry about another bill in this house another day in her life. I came in and I told my mama, you never have to work again. My mama worked as a housekeeper. And I don't know if your mama got this great education, but I guarantee you there's some pressures because she's an African-American woman. There's some pressure that she got to go through. It's up to you, King, to take that pressure off your mama. I got tired of soaking my mama's feet in Epsom salt because she was cleaning up after doctors. You get tired. When they want to roll up and they want to smoke with you, you can't do it because your mama got pressure on her. You got to take that pressure off. I feel the stillness of the Lord now. You take that pressure off your mama. That's why I take all pressure off my mama, because she don't deserve that pressure. And if nobody else want to take that pressure off your mama, you take that pressure off your mama. But the good thing is, and you can put a smile on your face, is that God done already equipped you with everything that you need on the inside to take that pressure off your mama. And it starts right now. Going to class, getting there on time, getting your schoolwork done. You show me your friends, I'll show you your future. If you know they rolling up and you know you want to go to the NCAA and play ball, if you want to be the next biggest star, if you want to get your vending machine company going, that don't happen in the back of a building rolling up blunts. Don't add pressure to mama. Yield to that king on the inside of you and go out there and win on purpose because there's a king on the inside of you. Man, y'all got me emotional, man, and I got these little bitty shirts on, man. Y'all gonna make me look soft, bro, but I just love you so much. I think I cried last year when I get around y'all, man. Let me tell you something, young man. You know I've been where you been, bro. Like I literally been where you been. And so I get so passionate about it because I know you can win. Don't even be distracted by everything that's going on in the world. Is it true that there's some racial and systematic injustices that are in this world? Yes. But you ask the creator, is this my fight or is this somebody else to fight for me so I can say true to what I'm supposed to be doing? They call me, they say, Will, and I probably get in trouble for this. Will, you coming down to march? I'm like, no, I'm not coming down to march. I appreciate it. That's your call. I'm a mobilizer. You let me know the plan. I'll get the word out to 1.7 million people and I can mobilize a whole nation of people to move the way we need to move. In the meantime, I'm going to stay true to my lane. Mr. Steve Harvey want me to come. I'm called to young people. I'll be here bright and early on my Sabbath. I don't even move on my Sabbath. I do nothing on my Sabbath. But this is so special to me that I felt like the creator would allow me to pour into you because guess what? This is giving me peace, and I believe that I can do something and speak something in your life that could change your life forever. And preferably, I've done so. I appreciate you, Kings. I'll take some questions now. Hey, Mom, I'm sorry. I got a little passionate talking about you. My mama right there.
I'd like to say, shoot, your passion is just like mine because as far as being different and where I'm from, all my boys, like they just like to sell, and then I'm sitting there like, shoot, I want something different for myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel like I'm trapped in my own neighborhood just because I want to be like my boys or I want to be a follower. And I like what you said about as far as being a leader. I'm pretty close with my mom. My dad's in my life too. But I'm pretty close with my mom. My mom got pregnant with me at 15, had me at 16. Didn't nobody think she was going to graduate or nothing. And my mom graduated with a 4.0. My mom graduated with a 4.0, had me, and still went to college. My mom is a CNA right now at the hospital around the corner from us. And that just motivates me because it'd be like, dang, she's been through that. What I've been through ain't nowhere near, you know, the pain that she didn't felt. So like, I feel like I got to get it out the mud and make this money for her. And then growing up, I had a lot of people who told me I couldn't do music because when I was younger, I had a very bad speech impediment. I used to stutter like every line, couldn't even get a line out. But but now that I rap, I got like 60K on Instagram. Finally got verified, opened up for T.I. and Jermaine Dupri. And now I just look back like, for those people who said I couldn't do it, what now? So, you know, I mean.
KJ, that's the shirt. What now?
Yeah.
I want you to go record. I want you to record that for me. They've been saying, what now? Yep.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we got to do that one. Hey, fellas, listen, you ain't got to unmute yourself, but that What Now song coming through from Kid J, make sure you follow him. That What Now gonna be good. Kid J, do me a favor though. This is what I want you to do. I believe this. If you look at the immediate, you'll miss the ultimate. Right? Like if we only focus on the immediate, we'll miss the ultimate. Right. I believe we overestimate what we can do in a year and we underestimate what we can do in 10 years. So 10 years from now, how old would you be?
31.
You'll be 31 years old. So
Yes,
I want you to literally write down what you want life to be at 31, right? So 31, I don't know, I want to be married. Just as hypothetically, you might say, Will, listen, man, you married with all them kids. I don't want to do that. But if you say 31, I'll be married. I want to have this big a house. I want to have this much in my savings account. I would like to have this, like I would like to have a child, like whatever that is. And this is the type of house that I want my mom to live in. This is the type of status that I want to have so I can be able to do for my mom and my dad, right? So when I was 17 years old, when I was 20 years old, I wrote what I wanted to do at 30. When I was 30 years old, I wrote what I wanted to do at 40, right? And so now that I'm believe it or not, I'm 40 years old, I'm thinking about what I want to do at 50 years old. So the way I'm writing my 50 is now I look at my children. I have a 17-year-old. He'll be 27 years old. Right? So I wrote all that stuff down, and now I'm living in my vision. And so the Creator tells me through biblical teachings this. He said that he wants to do exceedingly abundantly above all I can ask or think. So he want to do all above all I can ask or think. So you got to think, you got to write down, and you got to ask, and then watch that thing blow up. So now you're working in a plan versus taking everything, right? So I want you to do that, all right?
Yes,
Proud
sir.
of you, bro. Proud of you, bro. Yeah. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
Like I play music, I play the saxophone, I rap, piano, all that. But like me, I get scared a lot. So it's like I know what I do, but I have a fear like coming out with it.
Okay. Garrett, words. Like we got to get the words. So for me, I feel like I thought we was all together. I feel like we done went to the whole words, probably on YouTube, Facebook, and everything. Right? But the thing that I want you to understand, Garrett, is that we are products of our words. So you got to understand, right outside here is the neighborhood I grew up in. And don't get me wrong, through our efforts, we've been cleaning things up. But today, I sit in rooms with people like Steve Harvey. I sit in rooms with people like Ricky Smiley. I sit in rooms with presidents and CEOs of companies. Man, you do not realize how nervous and scared sometimes I am because I don't feel like I belong because I'm from the neighborhood. I don't speak like everybody else. I don't try to pretend like everybody else. I'm 100% who I am. So, Garrett, this is what I do. And I just did it before I got on here with you. I go in the mirror and I talk to myself. And I go in that mirror and I'm like, ooh, I'm nervous. They're like, they don't pay you to, I tell myself, they don't pay you to be nervous. They don't pay you to be scared. You smart, and I just start saying great things about myself. You smart, you're intelligent. God's gonna meet you at your expectation. You look good, and I just tell myself that, and then I end with these words: I am strong and mighty. 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 I am strong. And I say that about 10 times. And by the time I walk into that room, I got my shoulders back, my chin up. And even if I don't feel all strong and mighty, I told myself that so much that the fear alleviates the moment that I open up my mouth. And so, Garrett, I want you to start practicing a little bit with your self-talk and what you're believing about yourself. And I know that they don't put this on World Star, and this ain't on the Shade Room, but I want you to take this information and I want you to understand that you can speak those words out of your mouth and you believe what you say more than anybody else, right? So I want you to start speaking great things over your life. Yeah. Garrett, did that help a little bit?
And, yes, sir. And I got a CD out with my band. It's called Yesterday is Today with my jazz band group.
Hold on one second. Yesterday
is Today.
And what's the name of the band?
The Fame Jazz Band, FAME.
FAME Jazz Band. Got it.
Yes.
Yep. Got it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna check it out, bro. Is it on iTunes?
I think it should be on iTunes.
But you got CDs?
Yeah, CDs.
All right. So I try to purchase one of the CDs if you assign it for me.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, no doubt. What's your Instagram so I can make sure I stay true to what I told you I would do?
It's at 2, the number 2.
Yeah.
FLYYY _JAYY.
JYYY?
JYY, 2 Y's.
Got it. 2LYY _JYY.
2 FLYYY _JYY.
Oh, you think you too fly? Okay, I see what you did right there. Okay. You shy and talking about you fly? Okay, we're gonna talk about that. I'm following you on Instagram right now. We gonna get this shy way of you that fly. Let's do it.
Right.
Hey, I'm proud of you, bro.
Willie.
I'm gonna try to get this CD. Make sure you sign it for me though, because when you blow up, I want to be able to sell it on eBay 10 years from now and make that million.
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm ready.
So can I speak?
Sure you can.
Okay. So first and foremost, before anything, I just gotta say you're a real one. You're a whole king. Like I'm sure everybody here.
Thank you, bro.
As for me, I ain't got to come up yet. I mean, personally, I think I'm a true king. I think I know what I want out of my life. I know that I'm very different from others. I ain't got the same goals. And while I have a lot of confidence, the thing is I have a hard time holding that confidence together. Like I'm willing to work as hard as I need to in order to achieve any goal that I want, especially a life goal that I've had since I was like a little kid. And everyone's been working so hard in my life. Like my sisters been sacrificing for me. They've been working like their whole lives for me. They've been trying to get me into like all kinds of different scholarships and all kinds of stuff. My mother had to get like 2 divorces and she'd been working her whole life just to take care of me. And I always appreciated it so much, right? Yeah. So like I want to achieve something. I want to do something for her and I know I can do it. It's just like keeping my confidence together. It's like being so different and having those different thoughts compared to everybody else and coming from a different line. I want to know, how do you keep it together? How do you have that confidence in yourself to keep working hard to achieve that goal of yours?
You know what? The number one, I want to say congratulations and thank you so much for being transparent, right? I don't know what part of you that you feel is unique or different, but the part of me that I feel is unique and different is that I speak from the heart, right? So I'm a speaker. I get a chance to travel the world and I yield to my uniqueness. So the part of me that the teachers used to make fun of, he can get his work done, but he can't keep his mouth closed, right? Man, bro, you talk way too much, boy. I'm telling you. I ain't never been no snitch, though, flat out, right? But I'll be honest with you. The very thing that people talked about is the skill set that I use today, and that's what I'm paid to do across the country. And so what I want you to do is I want you to lean into your difference and not feel inferior by your difference, right? So I leaned into my difference. I said I was going to major in journalism when I was in high school. I ended up doing psychology because it was a pretty girl in college that I wanted to kind of follow her lead. My mama, it just sounded better for my mama to say Willie's going to be a lawyer instead of him being a doc, being on television, speaking, doing radio. However, just find out something that you want to do. Last thing I just want to tell you, bro, go with plan A, right? And now I don't want to go against parents because I'm sure they're on the other side of different cameras or whatever. But for my children, we have no plan B. Plan B comes out of plan A. So if I'm running track and field, like when I went and I won state as a 100-meter dash runner here, I think I won like 5-6 times with 4x2, 4x8 state champion. When I went to the University of Mississippi on a full ride scholarship, there was no plan B. Like when I was in high school, I'm like, I'm going to run track. And when I become the champion, I'll figure out what I'm going to do after that. So to every young man under the sound of my voice, this may be contrary to what you've been told, but I believe that plan B comes out of plan A. Case in point, in order for me to be at the University of Mississippi on a full ride scholarship, I had to get my academics up. So I left with a 3.333 GPA. I did what I had to do on my ACT. So I didn't have to focus on like, I got to do school. School was a part of plan A. When I did music, I had to learn business. You should know the business. I didn't focus on the business. I focused on the art. And once I got into the art, I learned the business. So just hone in on your difference and go wholeheartedly. Place all your energy towards your difference. And I think you'll win, bro. Indeed. Indeed. I appreciate you, good brother. Let me know how it goes. Follow me at Willie Moore Jr. Live. I'm always inspiring people. Willie Moore Jr. Live. Make sure you come out at me.
Of course. Thanks, man.
My brother. I just followed you and DM'd you.
Will, when there's a will, there's a way. Hey, Will, you looking presidential over there. I'm over here. Look at these curtains, Will. Look at these curtains back here, Will. Huh? You look at your background. Look at my background, Will. You see that cute, pretty little fan you got, Will? I'm jealous.
Hey, Willie.
Yo.
I just followed you on the gram, man.
Man, I'm using that phone. This one don't have Instagram. This is my note phone. I'm gonna follow you back soon as I get off of this one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I followed you as well, Mr. Will.
All right, I appreciate you guys. Anybody else? Any more questions? Because I'm just gonna close this out. All right, good stuff. So let me answer this first question that someone gave me in the beginning. What in my heart and mind do I expect when I'm on the radio, and what do I want to give to people while I'm on the radio? All right. Let me see. I think we're 7 minutes over. So let me just say this. Follow me on Instagram real quick. Follow me on Instagram real quick. To the young man who asked me that question, what comes from the heart enters the heart. There's an ear in everybody's heart. The word heart, H-E-A-R-T. If you take out the H and the T, there's an ear, right? There's an ear in the heart. So speak from your heart. Don't fake. Whatever's in your heart reaches your heart. That's what I just gave you, okay? All right, that's what I just gave you. I gave you what was in my heart. Could somebody who's facilitating this let me know? Kick me off, because I can hang out with my little brothers all day.
Go ahead and give your closing remarks, Willie. Go ahead and give your closing remarks.
Indeed. So family, listen, preferably we had an amazingly good time. Can you put a thumbs up for me real quick if it was okay? If you got something from it, I'm just kind of going through the thing. Okay, cool. I'm loving the thumbs up. Okay, last thing, and I got to give you this. Because you are a king, in order to bring that king out, you can never forget your ABCs, okay? Because you are a king and you got to bring that king out, you can't forget your ABCs. Now, I'm way too cool to give you A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No, that's an acronym. It's called Always Be Confident. Always be confident. When you get nervous, always be confident. When you're in class, always be confident. When you get in front of these CEOs, they may have more money than you. Always be confident. They may have come up a lot better than you. Although it seems God knew exactly where he wanted you to be. ABCs, always be confident. I'm Willie Moore Jr. Thank you to the mothers and the fathers who allowed you to be a part of this amazing experience. Shout out to the Steve Harvey Foundation page. I love you for the opportunity. Steve, we got to get together. Can't wait to play golf with you next week. Flat out.